Yeah, it was a funny little thing. It was like, oh, this is stupid. This is goofy. And you're like, damn, it looks pretty good, but still not quite there. Still not quite there. Now you're like, that looks pretty close. That looks pretty close to the real thing. 2 years. That's just been 2 years. Already at this point. From this crap, looks like a friggin' goblin, to this. I was just having a conversation with a customer of mine. He's like, man. He's like, Jake, I'm getting so sick and tired of YouTube. He's like, he didn't say slop. That's a modern term. He's an older gentleman. He's like pushing 50, but he's like, I just want to go on there and see like a DIY. And what do I get? I get all this. Everybody's a comedian. Everybody's a podcast. Everybody's got their. And I started laughing. I was like, yeah, like, like we've been talking about this for months now, So it's just funny to hear people in the general life, in reality, just not coming to this conclusion. There's just so much slop on the internet. Everybody's got their take. Everybody's got their podcast. Everybody's got their. And here I am, by the way, doing the show. He doesn't know I do this, but I was in agreement, and I said, what I actually think is happening is that we're getting to a point where the internet has created this eco space where now everybody has to give their take on everything. And the people who give the hottest take, give the freshest take about something, get the most views and clicks, right? You want to have the most extreme, you want to have the most hottest, you want to have the freshest take that nobody else has given. But it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean whether or not that it's true or not, whether what they're saying is actually the case. It's just a hot take. It's just their own personal opinion on things. The general public online is just coming out with hot takes as much as, as fast as they can turn them out. Another thing too is that we prioritize every day, nonstop, post Malone, nonstop posting. Hot takes and nonstop posting. That's what the internet pushes on people. You can't let people forget about you, right? You have to have your take on everything. That also kind of feeds into people not wanting to say, I don't know about something, about a given topic. Even just an average person watching the internet, on the internet, watching YouTube. I think that's a feedback where it's like, you have to have a take on everything because everybody you're watching has a take on everything. So what's your take? What's your take on Israel and Gaza? What's your take on AI? And it doesn't foster an environment where people can just say, I don't know. I don't have a take because I don't care. Or I don't know anything about that. I have never read about that. There just feels like there's this separate entity out there of the collective conversation of the internet where everybody knows everything and they're coming at you with all these different takes. So I was talking to him though. I was talking to my customer and he was lamenting how the internet, in the YouTube specifically, is just garbage slop now. And I said, I think that's the point, is that it encourages people to post a lot and have the hottest takes and have the freshest takes and the most extreme takes in a lot of cases, because most things are fairly mundane and I think fairly explainable just in mundane terms, regular terms, but people need to push it really far. So it becomes an extreme take. And when you have that, everything just gets completely diluted and there really is no way to know what is true about the situation when everybody's claiming all kinds of things and having their opinion on everything. And I was telling them, I said, I think that that's what they want. And ultimately what's going to happen is that we as a society are going to, not even in America, but as a global society, are going to come to a conclusion about information and the truth that we're going to eventually say, please, we need an authoritative voice to tell us what's happening, tell us what's going on and what's true. And we already see this on X all the time. People go, hey, Grok, what's real? Grok, what's this? Grok. And that as a tool in and of itself to aggregate the data and spit out an answer, it's like whatever, right? But it's the absolute destruction that has happened of people's belief systems in the last 70 years that has laid the path for people to be in the position they're in, where they don't know anything about anything. Not just in an informational sense, not just on a what just happened, oh, Charlie Kirk, whatever. Not just like that, but also about life and what they believe about life and what they believe about humanity and in morals and ethics and all kinds of stuff. People don't have any of that stuff. They kind of just roll with what everybody around them is doing. So if you're ever confronted with these types of questions, you do feel like, well, I can't go to Hassan, I can't go to Nick Fuentes, I can't go to Charlie Kirk, not anymore because he's gone. But in the general sense, all these people have differing views on things and they have differing takes. So there's just nothing there to tell me, hey, what do I believe in with this? How do I actually feel about this? And I think that they're setting up the AI to do that for us, to have this system that, in a sense, I feel like they want to make it a separate entity from the internet. Its own thing. AI will be a separate entity that will give you the real facts and the real truth about what's happening. I told him all that. I kind of went on a rant about it, and he was like, wow. He was like, wow, you got it all figured out. And I was like, no, I don't. I do not. Clearly, I do not have it all figured out. But I was like, I just think that's a burgeoning idea I have. That's just kind of a general blurriness of an idea that I think is kind of what they're going after and what you already kind of see unfolding. But he's right. He is right. You get online and there's just a lot of trash. There's a lot of slop. There's nothing is true anymore. It's all relative. It's all, who do you watch? That's your truth is your feudal political streamer. You're part of their feudal system, caste system, and they are the tippy top, the precipice, and they tell you what to think and what to feel about something. In some sense, it's scarier than having like a captured media like NBC, CBS, ABC. Like that sucks in and of itself, clearly, but there's something even like more scary about it being just this blob of nothingness on the internet where nobody even knows the truth about anything. Like the Charlie Kirk thing really outlined that, where as soon as it happened, it's just nonstop conspiracies, nonstop people pushing and pulling in every single direction, and we don't have like any cohesive, coherent understanding of what actually is going on. And with that case specifically, that scenario, that we probably never will know, but it just kind of plays on the point of like, yeah, we all run in a billion different directions. The horses, right? You have tied to your limbs, run in a billion different directions, and they rip you apart, and there's no real way to know. It's just, it is flooding the zone with shit, flooding people's minds with shit.
Your chicken's looking nice, pal.
Hey. Woo! Yo, he stole my chicken!
Got a crispy treasure, can't slow me down. Hot and golden, I'm out at this town. Move, Friday, victory.
Well, get back here.
Run, spin, slide, I'm gliding out the door. Fried love in my arms, can't give it up no more. Hey, your chicken's looking nice, pal. Hey.
Woo!
Your chicken's looking nice, pal. Your chicken's looking nice, pal. 2 years. Like what kind of tech have we seen progress this fast? Can you think of anything that's progressed that fast? I mean, computer chips, maybe? I don't even know. Like nothing is real anymore. Thrigger on X says nothing is real anymore. Yeah. I think more and more people are going to come to that realization. If my 50-year-old customer is coming to the realization of slop on the internet, more and more people very soon are going to come to the realization that they don't know what's real anymore.